Welcome to another edition of the Talk Heavy Podcast. This is a special episode because today I got three superstars in the movie industry with me, because we're here to learn about how to make a film. I know a lot of people that are watching this content, they always wonder, how the hell do you make a film? So I decided to bring the experts first. To the left of me, from the fame of Black Lightning, from BMF, from Netflix, forever, we have Yusef Thomas in the building.
Let's go.
What's good? What's good, yo?
And then we got the giants, man, from Focus Studios. These are the people in Philadelphia that's making Philadelphia look good. They really out here putting these movies out. They got Tubi on Smash. First, we got Dominique JANELLE.
Let's go, Dom.
She ain't here for the ratchetness with us tonight or whatever.
Not tonight.
And we got who I look at as the cap. He is the captain of the ship, man. Some people call him Michael Bay, not with a Y, with an E, because of the Bay series that this man been putting out. Man, we got KYREE TERRELL in the building.
Here I go.
What's going on, man?
Everything's going good, man. You know, we just wrapped another one. You know what I mean? That's what that 10, 11, something like that.
Which one you just wrapped?
It's called Hoopers, man. It's
Basketball,
I should say Hoopers, not Hoopers, man, but it's called Hoopers, and it's a basketball movie.
And you ain't called me knowing how I ball.
It's not a jiu-jitsu movie. It's not choke your mom out, choke your pop out
Just
type
the thing,
movie, bro.
I can't play ball.
I know you can't.
But if you would have got me a stunt double, I could have looked for the first time in my life like I could play ball.
Got the ball.
So now my budget got to go up because he can't hoop.
Damn. So how was that experience, man? You know what I'm saying, working on that joint?
Man, it was the toughest movie we ever done as a collective as far as Focus is concerned. And I knew that going in. The main thing was, at first, I was just going to do like a very small project and like just hopefully put it on Tubi or something. But then I was like, basketball right now has like this new 1v1 movement going on. So it's a lot of cats that's like burning it up on YouTube, IG, the whole nine, get all these followers, all these viewers. So I was like, what if I got 5 of them to play, you know, in this movie? And that thought actually came from Christmas Bay, because I had Hitman Holla in Christmas Bay, right? And no shot to him, he did amazingly, but I don't think people connect to celebrities moving into a different lane as much as they connect with, oh, that's Hitman Holla in a rapping movie, I'm going to see that. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
So I took these 5 hoopers in real life, and, you know, early talks with Dom, I was like, it's going to be a lot easier to get 5 niggas that could hoop and teach them how to act to the best of our ability. Me, her, Toby Gaddison. Than it would be to get Dev that can't hoop, but he can act. You know what I'm saying?
But he got me to beat my girl. I don't do that. You do that very well. That was
That scene was fire.
That was acting though. That was acting.
Woman beat her in the movie.
You know what I'm saying?
He got me doing terrible shit.
That was acting.
First time, listen, I
All
wanted to
down the pavement.
listen. I wanted to try the acting thing. First script he sent me,
Jiu-jitsu.
no, I'm getting my dick sucked in the car or something. I said, oh, I can't do this. Yeah, the first joint I got
The
called.
relationship schedule?
Yeah, I said, no, sir, no way. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Is that about
Because we
right?
switched that joint to my man. And, that joint never came out.
I said,
But why you can't do that? You know, y'all be talking heavy on this.
no, listen, we not doing that.
This woman know better jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, it'd have been a rap for
See,
me.
talking about it on the podcast is different than you acting it out in the film.
Yeah.
He ain't gonna make it in the
Ain't
film.
Yeah, I ain't doing all that. So you saying that it's actually easier to just teach those athletes how to act?
The authenticity, we had to trade off one or the other.
Yeah.
Right? So the authenticity of getting 5 cats that really know how to act, but they not really ballers by trade, would have just looked stupid. But
Right.
these dudes, like, they move different. Like, these dudes is hoopers. Like, we learn fast. Like, you can't get these niggas to stop playing basketball.
They wouldn't stop
They
playing.
won't
We had to
stop.
hide the ball on set. They
You know
wouldn't
what
stop
I mean?
balling. Like,
But,
but it just made more sense because the movie is surrounded. It was surrounding basketball games, so majority of the movie is games. So if you was an actor but you can't ball, this movie's gonna be ass.
Because it's not above the rim, where it's other things going on, and then
There's other things around the
is.
games, but it's mostly like you know how you got those dancing movies, and it's like they have like the stuff going around, but when they start dancing, that's the highlight of the
really
movie.
turns into that.
They could dance. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's a good way to put it too, because I think people could see that a little bit better. But when you say it's not above the rim, it is, right? And I don't want to say that and say it like that, because if you go back and you watch Above the Rim, it's one of the worst fucking movies of all time. But we loved it. You know what I'm saying? And no shot to the people that made that movie. We loved it. But when you go watch it today, you like, the boy just passes himself the ball.
Yo, that really
and don't in the movie.
Are you too young for those movies?
Nah, I saw that, man.
He can't be.
That's what Denzel Ray Allen.
See,
No, nigga.
This is a kid got game, man. Damn, you don't know you
What movie is
that young boy. That's Tupac, man.
Oh,
Bernie.
No, Bernie Mac.
Bernie Mac is in it. Yes, Bernie Mac is in it.
Yo,
That's,
told y'all.
that's crazy.
Young boy.
But no, we so the movie is about it's 5 main players, obviously 5-on-5 basketball. So they all got something going on, right? That's hood related, right? So the movie basically carries them through this competition that's coming to the city and what their struggles are, right? Is one main guy that's the city savior. There's a couple other cats that foots in the streets or coming out of that type of thing. So we tie their lives together with that. So it's a dope story, but I really wanted to use technology to kind of tell the story of the movie. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not going to go too deep in Hoopers. I know we're here to talk about movies and all of that, but by the time this airs, Hoopers is probably a year away from coming out.
Okay,
you know
okay.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it's the most recent film we wrapped.
Yeah, I know y'all was using all kind of futuristic 3D
360
cams.
cams. We had main man that rollerblade. He did
the rollerblade DP.
he did the Lakers John. What is it? Winning Time. So he rollerblade with the camera and all of his crazy
Nasty.
shots he be
I
getting.
know you've had to see some of this stuff.
So-
You're on super huge productions. You know what I'm saying? What do you see the difference between, you know, the smaller productions that you see, that you might have worked on locally and stuff like that, and the big stuff that you do like in Hollywood?
Shit. The snacks is better.
Snacks is-
Focus Studios joint yet. We got some good snacks.
They got
Pop
John.
Hey yo, real quick before that, listen, man, this episode is brought to you by Pop John. You know what I'm saying? If you want your John pop, I don't know what that means, but get you some Pop John, man.
I'll
Great
pop your
snacks
John.
here, I tell you that.
We got Pop
I'll
John.
pop your John if you need.
See, he out of pocket.
Anyway.
But no, I wanted to talk about what you guys making a movie. No, hold on. I'm getting there.
I want
It's
this.
just- I'm getting there. All right.
I want this.
For the first time, this ain't your production. It's Devinwade Productions over here. You know what I'm saying? So I want to talk to you guys about how movies is made, and that's why I wanted to ask him, what is the biggest difference that you see on set, and then from there is a path that I want to go with this. But what is the difference that you see on set?
Well, from what I experienced on the more independent side, it seemed to be like, even though like the director or the producer of the drawing is like, you know, he's steering the ship, it seemed to be more of like easier to be collaborate with everybody, like people to give their input more or whatever, and like I noticed more on major productions, it could be a writer that's like, yo, I wrote this how I wrote that shit, this how it's gonna be no matter what. But you know, on the independent side, it could be more, you know, lenient. I also see like I think like independent work faster. Like in a
Gotta
good
be.
way though.
Gotta be though.
Because on set, you know, I'll probably be on my trailer for like 10 hours playing video games and shit. Work for like 90 minutes and call it a day. You get what I'm saying? But you know, independent, y'all might be working all day. You get what I'm saying? Getting a lot done. You get what I'm saying? So I noticed that. Also, it's like I feel like the main thing with like independent films is like, how can I say it? I feel like they get more creative than the majors because
Okay.
it's like, because the budget is lower, it's like you got to think of like innovative ways to get that shot, or just do something out the box to
I say that
to
all the
compete.
time.
You get what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So it's like I think independent filmmakers like one of the best like creative kind of people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I tell my team all the time, like when those big budgets do come, I never want us to lose sight of what he just mentioned. Because right now, like we forced to figure it out because we can't just like, for an example, say we needed this room to be red because that lent to whatever story. We need the walls red, but we don't have a budget to paint it red. How else can we provide that feel where the production value remains the same for our audience, but we didn't actually hire a team to come in and paint these walls red, and then when we return it back, they got to be back the same off gray that they was when we got there. Big budget film sets can afford to do that. They could take everything out of here if they want to, store it pristinely, bring it back. We don't have that luxury, and that's just one example. But I tell my team that all the time, like we gotta stay locked in creatively, because right now we making 2,500 to 60,000 look like $1 million movie. When we get that million, it gotta look like a $10 million movie. You know what I'm saying?
So what I wanted to know from y'all is like step one, people watching at home, and camera equipment has become more affordable. So people, have their hands on, even if it's not the best camera, it might be the best camera that existed in 2011. So you know what I'm saying? Like in comparison. So it's like, yo, if you like this movie from 2007, a cheap camera of today can still produce that, and that movie still has value.
Right.
And at the end of the day, you want to tell your story. What would you say is the first step to conceiving making a movie? What is step one?
And we gonna all go down the list and give our step ones.
It's just open discussion.
I'd say the first step is just, that's just development. You got to have a story.
Right.
You got to take your idea and put it on paper in the form of a screenplay and have your story. And a lot of people want to start making movies. They're like, yeah, I got this idea. Everybody got ideas.
Right.
But what do you like? You really got to put your idea down on paper in the form of a screenplay. That's step one.
And what's the process like that to you when you, because I know you have ideas, and me and you talk, and you'll tell me, yo, I got some crazy shit. I'm about to do such and such. What is like that process like? And what I kind of want to know is, when you're creating that, do you feel like you're figuring out the story, or does the story figure itself out?
I think it depends on the story. You know what I'm saying? And that might not be the answer that people want to hear. But for me, I can only tell you for me. Sometimes I have a story and I know exactly how I want it to go. Sometimes I just have a concept, right? So the perfect example of that is probably Money Lovers, right? Money Lovers was a whole different film. The people had different names, right? But I knew the concept, because the concept always came from me loving Set It Off, but thinking about, what if instead of Blair Underwood was the banker and he was dealing with Stoney, Jada Pinkett's character? What if he was the cop and he didn't know he was chasing down a bank robber? That was an idea I always had for a long time, right? And I was like, I'm gonna write something like that one day. But then when what happened to me, when I invested in Bitcoin with a young lady I was dealing with, she was in cahoots with my homie. I don't know if they did it intentionally, but all of a sudden the site that I invested in just went away, just poof, and they couldn't tell me nothing. So when that happened and crypto started becoming this thing, I merged those two ideas. So the concept for Money Lovers was always those two things married. But when I first wrote it, it went a different way, right? It wasn't like, I'm not going to give it away for those who didn't.
Yeah, because I want y'all to go watch Money Lovers.
Because Dev all in that joint.
I'm in that joint too.
But it was just a different ending, right? And everybody in the movie had different names, and some of them had different representations of money or love, right? It was always meant to be that clash of money or love, because both situations I told you about, I was dealing with this young lady. I invested in her. My money went poof. You know what I'm saying? I never held her accountable or nothing, because what she told me was believable. Maybe that was it. Maybe it wasn't. I don't know. And obviously, we all seen Set It Off. We know,
Yeah.
Blair Underwood, Jada Pinkett character was dealing with each other.
You know, I used to think that Blair Underwood was Russell Simmons, but
Wait,
I
what?
did.
Okay.
Because I watched this movie called Crush Groovin' when I was 5 years old. When I was 5 years old, and everybody in the movie was played by themselves, like LL Cool J. Everybody, the only person. Russell Simmons was played by Blair Underwood. So I thought that he was him the whole time. And then one day I seen Russell Simmons. This ain't that nigga. This nigga light skin.
That's a fact. I forgot about that.
Yeah,
That's
fucked
crazy.
Me up,
All right,
man.
I'll give you that one.
But-
Yeah, so I was,
Because I was about to be like,
oh no,
damn.
Blair. Listen, Blair Underwood looked like he 35 years old. This
Yeah.
nigga's like 70. That shit crazy.
But to that point, Work Bay, for example, I knew where that was going. Wasn't no other direction where that was going. I knew
because
where
you
it was
probably
going.
lived it.
I did live it. But at the same time, it just was a story that was like, it just grew legs. Like to your point, it just, soon as the joint hit the pen hit the paper, it just was like, go. And first it was just me and Aisha character. And it wasn't about my character. It was about her character, right? It was just about a woman not being served at home. In steps another gentleman ready to serve her. The end. It was a relation skit. It was 2-3 minutes. You know what I'm saying? It was my life. But because that's why you're looking at
All that to get back to the way we
y'all
said.
two looking at me like
Okay.
I've had a few work days. Who hasn't?
You only lasted 2
We
minutes.
ain't gonna
That ain't
get
good.
No, the skit.
He's waiting for you to get to the point. That was
Damn.
Okay.
But yeah, man. So those
Circle
my
moment.
my two answers, man.
So
And-
I know like in comic books you gotta fill up the panels, and it's real difficult. Like I come from doing comic book work, and one of the ways that makes it easier, and I want to know if this is a smart way to do it with characters, is you create character Bibles, right? So if somebody asks me a question about KYREE, and I've known them for years, and they say, if I put KYREE in this scenario, what do you think KYREE would do? I think I have in my mind what he would do. And I feel like I know what he won't do. Same with Slice, anybody that I've known for years. So what we will do is like make a character Bible. I mean, things about a person that don't even matter. It's a superhero. What's their favorite cereal? His history of them. And then when the scenario you present, you can kind of define, the story starts writing itself because you already know that this guy won't go for this because he was abused. Do you think that that's a good way that could work in movies as well?
It's absolutely a good way, because the thing about it, which lacks, and it's one of my pet peeves in independent films, is because people don't do that. They don't develop their characters. They just write a story, and there's no development of characters. And then sometimes they'll have the characters like partially developed, but you never see it throughout the story. So it's like until you go to premiere and you hear them make a speech about it and they give you all the background details, you didn't know nothing about it as the viewer on the outside. Yeah, like I didn't know none of that, because a lot of people don't know how. So I feel like that part is very important, because once you know who your characters are and you start writing, you're going to write them in the scenarios, and you're going to write them in ways. You're going to know what they should be wearing because you know their character.
That's the important
It's
part.
all
It's
gonna
like,
make
what does
sense.
her bedroom look like? If you
Right.
wrote
Right.
this thing about everything about this person, loved basketball as a kid, then you know in that room it needs to be a picture of them playing basketball when they were little, and things around to tell, even if you didn't talk about that part, at least when you're giving that speech and you can say, you noticed in the background there was some football
But you'll be
trophies.
able to tell, because if I'm watching this character and I'm seeing what they're wearing, I'm seeing how they're acting, I'm seeing all the nonverbal things, I'm seeing all that, and I say, oh, they, I'm gonna get that as the viewer. If you don't put it in there,
I do it the way you first started, when you was like, well, I known KYREE this long, I known Slice this long. That's how I develop my characters. So when I put a character on the paper, I think about who in my mind is this character like that I already know that well. You know what I'm saying? Like when I did Bay vs. Bay and I was Marcus, that was me acting like my cousin. You know what I'm saying? That was me thinking about him and how he would say things and what he would do and the whole nine.
see, now you want to just go back and watch this stuff and be like, who he talking about in this character, this character, that character.
Yeah, that's how I do.
Oh, so you the nigga that got punched on in what's the joint called when the boy wrote the story? He wrote the book, and that's where he.
Oh yeah, the movie.
The best man.
Best man.
Like,
Yeah, exactly.
Niggas start reading like, wait a fucking minute.
Yup.
This is me, nigga.
Yep, I embody the character that way because it's so easy to do, because to your point, I know this person.
Right.
Like, I know this person. Even somebody I went to school with, maybe I only spent 2-3 years with, but I know them well enough to most of the colors is there, and I only got to fill in a few.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that for me, the way I write, and you probably gonna get into this, so I don't want to be too long-winded on it, but the way I write is like there comes an outline of like what I want to get done, and that first outline might just be like 3 things. This happens in the beginning, this happens in the end, this happens in the middle. And then I start to figure out who needs to be in the movie outside of my main characters, right? Who carries some of these things through what my main characters is going through. And I really try to limit that, especially in indie filmmaking, because you might have 3 characters in a film and you really only needed 1. Or sometimes you don't need none.
I got what you're
like
saying.
A letter, a phone call, a picture-in-picture on a TV
Fill that in.
could get that done for you. You know what I'm saying? And that's the creativity you was talking about, where it's like, I ain't got another $2,500 to pay another actor for 4 days. But what I can do is act like this a news story, and all these pieces that need to be in the movie, I'm gonna do like this. We did that with Claudia Jordan on Renabay. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I do. Once I got them characters, and then what I do is I sleep on it for a few days. Like I'm just, and when I say sleep on it, when I'm going to sleep, I'm literally thinking about what happened in this scene, what happened in that scene. I'll pop my phone out if I get a hot idea. Let me write that down. Yeah, what happened? And then once I learn these characters, like I even print people out and put them on the table, and I write little attributes next to them. Once I know them, you're done.
It starts flowing.
Yeah.
Like with you, when you receive the characters that you play or you're interested in playing, does it come with a character Bible at all or anything like that?
Well, we call it backstories, but like I guess like say if I get an audition, it had like the little synopsis of the character. It may say, you know, male, early 20s, James, he's a gangster who hates his mom or some shit, right? And it may be just that, or it may be like a couple paragraphs depending on the character or whoever produced the joint. You get what I'm saying? So once that happens, we have that little chunk. That's when you start to play with the backstories. Like it's like, for instance, off the top of your head, like make up a character for me real quick. Like if I got the audition.
Okay.
Improv.
Your name is Parker. All you do is play cards all day, because your uncle used to play cards and you was raised by your uncle. Never met your mom, and you have dreams of one day winning the poker tournament in Vegas. But you've never been to Vegas either.
Okay. So, you know what I mean? Once I get that information, you know, I'm going to break down the character. First, I'm going to get, to help me build the character, I'm going to look at his IMDb and see his style or his tone. I'm going to probably watch some of his stuff. Because sometimes, a lot of times, like producers, even if they have different type of films, they still got that, like, you know, for instance, like Tyler Perry stuff is always colorful.
You know
what I'm saying?
Yeah, they got their voice.
So that will help me know what the character were in general. You get what I'm saying? So if you know, KYREE, right?
Yeah,
like if like his movies have like a lot of natural tones of the dome, then I know I'm not gonna be, oh, he wears bright orange shirts and stuff like that. But I'll start breaking down the backstory of the character. Like, you know, he was born, how old is he?
Say he's 35.
He's 35. So he was born, you know, January 1st, 1990. That means I think he is Sag. I'm not sure, but if that's a Sag, then he is Sag. You know, he was raised in Pennsauken. You know, since they didn't give why the mom, because the mom was never in my life, right?
Mm-hmm. But when you say why,
that's where I could get creative, because that's going to help develop how I play the character. So it could be like, maybe the mom wasn't in my life because she said fuck me or some shit, right? Or maybe the mom died or something like that in a tragic accident. Maybe she died giving birth. So those type of ways, if I knew that my mom, if I heard stories about my mom that she gave me away, that'd be different than me hearing about my mom dying in an accident, right?
Like the grieving
You know
version versus the person that has like a
Resentful version.
resentful or whatever like that.
Yeah.
So you're building the tone of how this person responds to things and stuff
Yeah,
like that.
and then it goes like how you said, it goes real down to detail. Like I'll create the character, what kind of cereal he eats. You get what I'm saying? Frosted Flakes, and how he eat his Frosted Flakes. You know, he crunch it up in a bag, and then he put ice in the. You know, that
Because
stuff
it's
matters.
things that you're doing on
stuff
camera
matters.
when you're talking. You gotta like, does this person keep a toothpick in their mouth? Do
Yeah,
they,
that
like
stuff
those
matters.
small details.
And they add those details, add so much character. People don't even realize it. I learned that way back when I was doing plays. I had one play where I literally was 4 characters in the play, right? So the play was basically, I forget what it was called, how to get to heaven on 15 cents, something. It was about a dude who died, but he's given a second chance to come back. So while he in the afterlife, the angel is showing him the new guys that his wife is going to date and deal with while he's out. So I played all the new guys, right? And it was 4 different guys. So what my my playwright, and I don't think he wrote that one, but my director, Cash Goins, he was like, yo, you got to give each one of these characters a different tick. Each one of these characters got to do something different. You know what I mean? And I had never heard or seen that before. And I don't remember what all of them was, but one of them was like a pimp, was like a player. And I had the scarf and the fake hair and the whole nine. He was like, when he talks, give him one of these. Like every time when he's saying something, like, you know what I mean? Keep hitting him with one of them. And those types of things, it's like for the audience, it transforms. Like they looking at KYREE. But it transforms you because these other 3 characters, they don't talk like this.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that's a great tip.
Right. And I'll say real quick, like, you know, to like any actors that's like watching this, it's like when you creating your backstory and stuff, that's the moment where you have the power and where you can let your creativity and your imagination just thrive. You get what I'm saying? A lot of times, a lot of my actor friends who don't be booking, they lack that. They skip, like I think one of y'all said it, like was it Dominique? She was like, you know, they don't really create no backstory or nothing like that. They just, you know what I mean, just do whatever, and then you could tell. But you could always tell when somebody had wrote. Viola Davis said she used to write books, you know what I mean, about the character and stuff like that. And it's like, yo, when you as an actor, that's the fun part of acting before you get on the camera.
Especially, I guess, if you're not allowed to change the words, at least you could deliver them in a different way or whatever. It's like, no, these are the words you're going to stick by, but 5 different people are going to get 5 different performances. Now, when I know you played Roland West, with something like that, how far did you dig into the actual history of the gangster?
Well, what you mean, the gangster role or
rolling for real? Like, yeah, like,
well,
did you just take what they gave you, or did you find yourself like, nah, I want to like look up the cases and all of that type of shit?
So it was interesting with me, but you know, like I go real serious with the characters. Like I do all the homework needed to be, but I played Roland when he was like 11, 16, and as an adult. So it was like I didn't get the chance to meet Roland season 1, but season 2, when I had more episodes, I'm like, yo, they expanded my character. I want to meet him, and I really want to get to know how he operates and everything. I flew to Detroit, you know what I mean, picked me up. He showed me around his hood. I was seeing just how he talk about his hood. You get what I'm saying? Like how it made him felt. I met his baby mom and everything like that, his house, and we I think we were drinking like Moet or something like that. You feel me? I was joking, like, you know what I'm saying? And he was just telling me like what he liked. Like for instance, he said he only date light-skinned girls. And I think, I don't know if I said that on your podcast before, but I was like, yo, at the time when I was playing Roland, a lot of people think I like Spanish girls, you know what I mean?
You ain't
because I'm always
Yo, see, here we go. Look, I get nervous.
only thing.
Dominican Republic. But I really I like all women, but you know, if I could prefer, it would be dark skin. You know what I'm saying? Dark skin, skinny. But Roland like light skinned girls.
Said skinny. He said no fair Jones.
No, I like thick Jones too.
Get lit up like Chris Brown after this.
But
You know you ain't allowed to have
no,
no
I'm saying I like them all. Look, I like the big Jones too. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? But it was like he told me that, you know, he liked light skinned girls. So at the time when I was playing Roland, I was only talking to light skinned girls, trying to holler at light skinned girls, dating them. I was shading the other girls. I ain't even telling why, because it will affect my character.
That's
because
crazy.
Wait,
you know what I'm saying?
imagine meeting him and you only just a form of homework.
A lot of people see now. People go,
like I was just a homework assignment to you. That's
Absolutely.
crazy.
How many birds did you sell? Did you flip any coke?
Nah, I
Say
ain't.
that on camera.
How far did you take it?
The statute of limitations ain't up yet,
Need
man.
to get the feel of what it felt like to get off a couple grams.
Nah, but what I did do, I was riding around Detroit by myself, and then I was like in an area where it kind of looked sketchy. I was like, let me get up out of here. And I did the same thing with Rodney too for forever. Like, you know, my character, I don't know if he a Crip or not. It wasn't really insinuated, but like based on like clothing, certain things, it made me feel like maybe, but they didn't want to pit it. But he from Crenshaw, you feel me, in areas in
It kind of
Slauson.
gave something. It
Yes.
did.
So I'm riding around Slauson, and that's a heavy gang area. Like, I don't know if you ever been on, like, I think Slauson running to that street Figueroa and everything like that, where all the shorty be out. I'm talking to them and everything, and they like, boy, what you doing out here? You better go. You gonna get robbed and all types of stuff. But as the character Rodney from here, he ain't afraid of Slauson. This is hood. So me, even though I would say if you gonna do that, you know, at your own risk, but if you want to be authentic, you want to know you want to get an aspect of what the character feels on his day to day. You feel me? And that's what separate great actors from the good and, you know, the other thing.
And
you know
I feel like to your point though, and again at your own risk, because I don't know them niggas, but what I have heard though is like they culture is just like check in. You know what I mean? So I feel like had you was like, well, who the big homie around here? I just want to tell him what's really going on. You know what I mean? I'm an actor. I'm about to be in the joint over here. I want to play the set authentically.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That might have got you somewhere.
They might have put a
Yeah,
gun in your
look,
head.
look,
Like,
The only reason I thought about that actually, but the only reason why I didn't do it because you know how they culture is, they so big on extortion, and if you trying to like, I guess ride off of their name or whatever, like yo, you know my character from Slauson or whatever case, and they be like, oh you trying to rep the hood? Then nah, we gotta get some bread. We want some of that check. Well, I don't know how that may go. You feel me? So I was like, I don't want to really do that. But I definitely was like interacting. I was listening to like a lot of Nipsey, a lot of Dom Kennedy, just to get the language. And I was like going in stores talking like them, just trying to get the mannerism of how they act and dress and just a lot what they eat and stuff like that. You feel me? Like I think as an actor, because I'm not 100% method, it just gives. It depends on the character. You feel me? Like I guess even if I wouldn't have been able to meet Roland, I probably would have been able to do Roland easy because I'm from Camden. You know, you see that you from Philly. We know what it's like to be gangster on the block. If you ain't never sold drugs, one of your homies there, right? So it was like, as an actor for me, I gotta be able to immerse myself in it. That's the only way. I gotta make it reality because I'm a truth teller. I don't lie. You know what I'm saying? So I think yeah, just go all in, man. You gotta do what's necessary for you to feel that feeling.
Yeah, it's the creative nature because he comes from music. KYREE also comes from music. It's all the same thing I found out an hour ago. If not even that KYREE had a draw in here.
Long time ago.
Usually the
Be all
powers are all one powers. It's all a creative power, and you just happen to put your time into developing a certain one. So after you have, you know, a script and you feel like, I have this script. A lot of people get to the point where they have a story, whether it's trash or it's great.
It's usually trash.
But now,
Everybody thinks your stories are great.
right? But now, right?
I mean, there's nothing wrong with it.
Now, let's say the story is great because they're using something that just happened that was amazing, right? And they said, "Yo, this is decent this is decent by default because what happened is just crazy." It's a totally different thing to film this and make this a reality. How do we go about making a film? I'm talking about from, you know, scouting locations, figuring out your cast, all of that. What do you start with first?
Well, you start with your budget.
You gotta have one.
Ching ching.
How much do you have to do what with, right? Because that changes how you're going to do stuff. that changes the staff that you're gonna have on both sides of the camera.
Let's make it light. We got 8 bands.
I did work bay with 8 bands. So I mean, if you wanna give it that type of question,
Okay.
you know what I mean, I can speak from actual experience. I'm gonna expand a little bit though, because what I didn't have was Dominique on work bay, and I definitely could have used her.
She did the light skin hair.
She said, I'm a baby.
Anyway,
Upgraded you.
let's just go back before we. No, I ain't afraid to say Shorty upgraded the whole Focus Studios experience, man, and that was very hard for me to let go some of the reins, because you know how hard it can be to find competent people. So it wasn't that I wasn't able to do or wasn't doing what Dominique is able to do. It was that my superpower, my creativity was being burned over here, where I could pass that to her. Now my flame a little bit stronger. You feel what I'm saying? So to your point, the things that you need your budget. Then you need what I explain this to people sometimes when they come to me and they look at me like I got 3 heads and they think they can do it without it. You got to break your script down, right? And that's what Dominique does magnificently, right? And a script breakdown is basically, yes, you have this script, right? But in one of the scenes in the movie, they sitting around doing a podcast and it's red cups on the table, right? Those red cups is significant because the uncle that dies in the last scene, somebody told him not to touch the red cup, right? And they mentioned it on the podcast. But now you didn't do no script breakdown when you did your movie, and when
now
you
you
get
ain't
the
got
set,
no red cup.
you don't got no red cups, right?
Got blue cups.
Now you got blue cups, you got whatever, and somebody is gonna say, well, let's just use the blue ones, right? Or you gonna end up running to the store. The red cup, John, ain't really a good metaphor,
Well, I
because
know what you were
it
trying
can
to
just
say.
be fixed,
Right.
but it's things like that go in your script breakdown, that now each day you know what you need, what scene you need it in, how many you need, why you need it, the whole 9. So now you can actually get the movie done. Without, a lot of people think they just got their script, they gonna go. And we've been on them sets when they like, yo, ain't nobody grabbed the red cups. Yo, we were supposed to have the Omi Eagle Jones in it. Somebody called Dev in Guatemala. Dev, our only person that could get us these. Yeah, you were supposed to hit him before. Damn, we don't got the jump. We got to move this whole day now. And whomever we had hired on that day, we got to pay them for the day we moving it to. Right?
But you only got $8,000.
I got a question on what you had said. From like I want to know, how do independent people do it? Like, say for instance, you see how this joint is, right? You got the 2 cuts right there. Boom, this is the set. You know what I mean? This was today. Now tomorrow we got to redo this scene. You know what I'm saying? On the independent side, do they take a picture or they record it to see how it is, or like do they just like wing it, like, you know, it might not been that, you know what I'm saying?
Most of them wing it.
Okay.
Most of them wing it. But
you're not supposed to. You're supposed to take pictures of continuity.
Yeah.
Like on Hollywood set, you know, like if you're doing a scene, you leave your cut right there. Somebody come over, they might draw a little circle, and that way when you pick your cut up, they got they'll shine the light on, they'll see the circle illuminate, they know to put the cup back there. Like they do that on Hollywood sets, but it's not that something like that can be done on independent sets. If you know somebody that know what they're doing, they know to do that. They know to take them pictures. They know to do all that.
They gotta know to do it.
Right.
That's what lacks on independent sets.
Yeah, it's
like,
the knowledge of knowing to do these things.
I've been on so many sets taking inventory of what to do and what not to do. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like if you work with Focus Studios, you end up getting spoiled. You know what I'm saying? And we boast about that now because we know it's not by accident. We know we 10 joints in and every set says that. Every set leaves with new friends. They leave with...
They love each other.
They come back after they did 2 other Jones and they be like, yo, they ain't even... I'm talking about our hair, makeup team. Everybody be like, yo, why y'all ain't tell me they was going... Like, this not how it go because this how it go. This how it go because me, that's in the leader position at this company, has been through all of that shit. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I just was on a set going through that shit where I wasn't in the lead and I just had to take it. You know what I mean? So we pay attention to that detail. And like, we got so many people, like Eb comes from a different side of production, right? So she got different details she pay attention to. Dom been all on all types of sets I ain't been on. So she got a different, and I could keep going. All of our folks, Joey, if it's technical, she got a different attention to detail. And I'm always stressing, like, yo, the big shit we not gonna be able to forget. Cause we all looking at that. We all looking at the big shit.
Right.
It's them little minute Jones that most people not worrying about that tank your production.
And who's dedicated person to look at those things?
We on our level, we don't have a dedicated person. So that's why I'm always voicing it to everyone, where it's like, yo, like, do your job, but also like remember, like, be conscious, have care. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you don't have care, like, we've all worked in those jobs where it's like it's a few people, not just one, that you like, how that get past you and you and you and you? You know, we've all been there. So you
just got to be prepared. And independent, you're just prepared to wear multiple hats, and that's just what you got to do. And I know, like, me and KYREE talk about that. It's just like independent says you're gonna wear multiple hats.
Yeah,
on Hollywood set, you can wear one. You know what I mean? But you got the budget.
Got the bag.
They got the bag that everybody could just wear that one hat.
Yeah.
And that's why you see, like. And don't get it twisted too, because like some things in independent like will be wrong, and everybody's be like, see that major sets do it too, and it's crazy when they do it because you had one person just to only do that.
It was like
you had a cut person
or Transformers or something. I think they was like in interrogation room, and the amount of donuts that was on the plate kept changing. Like it was like a fool, and then they'll be arguing a little bit, and then they go back into the wide, and it's like half of them are eating. It was like weird.
They probably filmed it on different days, and the continuity got fucked up.
So this happened to me in I made a comic book, and somebody wanted to make a movie out of it. So had to go to LA. They're working on this thing, and they think they could pull this off with like $15,000, right? They go get all of these
comic draw. That's wild.
Yeah, because it was really like martial arts and guns, right? So they got all the guns that fire, all the dope shit, and they got this martial arts academy. One of the main girls, she actually plays in the John Cobra Kai. She's like the stunt coordinator person over there, and she was in the Wolverine movie. She plays kids because she looked like a kid. But something happened. You talked about how this set is, and do you take a picture and come back the next day? I got some advice, even though I don't know nothing about this shit. If you're using a public place, try to get everything done that day, because you cannot control what it's going to look like tomorrow. We shot a fight scene.
Oh, that's so true.
Inside of an abandoned skate park, right? I mean, abandoned amusement park. It's like in between Las Vegas and California. The place looks scary as hell. There's no power in there. We had to bring generators, all of this shit. We do this fight scene in the middle of, that ends up being in the middle of the skateboard ramp. We finish most of it. It gets dark. We run out of time. We come back the next day to reshoot. Somebody came in overnight,
took the ramp,
and spray painted the whole joint. I'm talking about, it's like a mural.
Damn.
Oh my God.
They went in and painted it. So now in the movie, there was no way to do it without all of a sudden, it's like sometimes it's graffiti in the background, and sometimes it's completely clean.
Oh my God.
And that happened, and then we had these very expensive shit. They cost as much as a real gun. Guns that fire these blue powder blanks. So you don't have to do anything in post. When you fire the gun, you get the real reaction. Right. We had girls crying because the fucking, the shell, the thing part was hot, or their fucking when it kicks back, their arms couldn't control it. They're supposed to be soldiers, but when they shoot the machine gun, it's like their arm is everywhere. And we had scenes where somebody would like kick the gun out of the person's hand, Now the gun's hitting the floor.
Oh my god.
The gun is getting these scratches on it. So when you try to set up for the next scene, the gun looks so battered.
Yeah.
Every scene.
And that's the thing where like if it's Hollywood, they got 78 guns. Right? Because somebody was like, well, let's throw one on the floor and see what happens. See, we need 78 of them because we got 16 of these shots. They probably gonna go to shot 3. That's 48 right there, right? And or we need a props person on set that's restoring these joints every time. You know what I mean? So they got the money to do all that. Where in indie, you gotta be smart. So like me, this just a tip for like what happened with the spray paint, right? If that's me, I make half the scene either a flashback or something artistic, where it's like that character goes to a certain place in their head when a certain thing is happening. So now every shot that I take that got the mural on it, it looks different. You feel what I'm saying? And I don't just say it looks different like the background. I'm saying like how I give it whatever color and contrast or whatever music might change. Like it might, all of them might be in slow-mo. So you know my character going somewhere else. And then to the point like I made with
you gotta take out the box.
That's
like I'm gonna make him a graffiti artist earlier in the movie.
Exactly.
And
he's thinking that, and you only need that one little nugget, like a voiceover or something like that. Like you could throw in the mom, remember I told you your artistic expression is your superpower or something. Now when they fucking him up, it keep going to that part and stuff like that. So
like that.
We gotta we always like
think about that stuff.
Work bay. True story. Right? Since we talking about shit like that. Script breakdowns, right? Bobby, played by my guy Ryan.
Okay.
Right? We have a whole table read, right? He asked the question. So, yo, like, what time period this happening? So I'm like, I give him 2 keys. I'm like, well, when we meet is this, and when we go out this time is this. So it probably happened throughout like a 6-month period or something like that, right? Oh, all right, cool. So these days at work, these different days. Yeah, these different days. He gets to the shoot. He got one outfit. Now, mind you, when we get there, this the first work bay. I had a law firm give me their building for 1 day, right? And it was only supposed to be like a 12-hour day. 3-4 people is late.
Oh man.
Ryan comes to set with 1 suit. He in like 16 scenes. Right? So I give him probably like 200. I'm like, run the H&M, get as many different looks as you could do. We gonna mix and match them, right?
White shirts, different ties.
Niggas is late. We losing time. I'm like, we gotta get these cameras up. I told these niggas to go shopping. Calling back. I'm like, come back. We gonna figure it out. So in the beginning of the movie, somebody says, like, why you always wear that? She says something to him, and he like I forget what he says. I wrote the shit, but it was a freestyle. He say something, and then there's an insert at the end of Work Bay, if you stick around, where I say, yo, why you always wear that same jacket? And he like, this my line or something like that, he say. So that was where we fixed that, where you see Bobby in the same thing all the time, because it's like his brand, like it's like what he trying to do, so that now he don't look ridiculous in the same thing. So we freestyled and made it purposeful, but that's a blunder. You know what I'm saying? But if you're not a filmmaker, this is another thing. This is a big tip for a lot of people that's trying to make movies. You got to remember that if you make movies, you are of the 1% of the 1%. Like most people don't make movies. Overwhelming majority of most people never been on set, never gonna make a movie. So your mistake to them, if you could finesse it, it might be magical. Like they might be like, that was
people
dope.
don't know behind the scenes.
And the whole time it was a fuck up.
Yeah.
So people don't know. So be creative and think outside the box.
Yeah, we've had fuck ups with podcasts where we had people come on and we fucking lost their footage. I remember one time we had to put a COVID mask on somebody
Every time they spoke.
and basically reshoot them just like going like this.
No,
like,
not just that. It's
just
different
like,
facial
but
expressions.
it's like just with a mask on. to make almost like stock footage to put every time the camera went to them, because in the original John, the camera wasn't on them. You know what I'm saying? And then I would have them overdub just a part where it's like to sell it to be believable. Like on this part, if you said, man, fuck out of here, dog, you crazy. I played that part over and they literally pulled their mask down like, man, fuck out of here, dog, you crazy. And then put it back up to sell. Oh, he really is talking. But in the meantime, that shit was terrible, because we had
from Bermuda,
a girl come from Bermuda that was a big supporter of the show, and we had a live show that got canceled, and she was like, yo, I bought my ticket and everything like that, shout out Kristen, and we was like, nah, fly out here anyway and just kick it with us. And then she came and got on the episode and everything, and her fucking camera, something happened to her footage, and we ended up fixing that shit. We ended up having to fix that shit.
That's a crazy one.
Yeah, it's bad. That's bad.
I would say too, like, even though, like how they said, on the independent side, you got to wear multiple hats. Everybody got to do their part. I say, especially for actors, how can I explain it? Like, I think if the smaller the role, the more you need to be up on this. So, for instance, right, I had a situation on the set. I ain't gonna say the show or whatever the case may be, but we flew to another location or whatever the case may be, and somebody messed up and they didn't have my shirt, the same shirt. It was like a different color shirt, but me as an actor, I'm on a major set. That's not my job. You get what I'm saying? I'm getting paid either way. You get what I'm saying? I'm not on hourly or nothing. Like, the check coming, right? I could be like, well, shit. It's they shit, you get what I'm saying? But at the same time, as an actor, especially if your role is small, your shit can get cut. You get what I'm saying? By continuity being messed up. So I peeped that, like, yo, this not the shirt. So before they even made the mistake before they even acknowledged the mistake, I went to them like, yo, this not the shirt. And then they was like, no, it isn't. I'm like, no, this is not the shirt. And then they went to costume, and she was pissed, like, y'all didn't, you get what I'm saying? And then they had to improv on that. But had it been like, I would have never said nothing, right? And they would have just waited last minute, we on set, and then somebody caught the mistake, they probably would have been like, well, just cover up with something. And then that thing probably get cut. You need all your scenes. So just because it's not your job, don't mean that it's not your job on the major, on the major side.
That's a nugget right there.
For real.
That's a nugget. I know you did something recently where you said they ended up not using the scene.
Yeah, man, I got cut off the movie Ruth and Boaz. And man.
Watch that, John.
Yeah, so I
was like, I ain't see you in.
I mean, listen, my name was on the credits at the end of the movie.
Check out my name
at the end of the movie.
It's like, yo, y'all putting out the extended.
They had cut my scene or whatever, but I had talked to the executive producer. He was like, it was just like time. Sometimes you film too much. You get what I'm saying? And then it's like you gotta stick to that 90-minute mark. And it's like, well, what can we do? You get what I'm saying?
We had a girl that was on our show that was in a super major movie, and all they kept was her titties. They took her out the movie and just kept her titties in the movie.
That was the most important part.
Shout out Angelina.
Shout out titties.
Yeah, that really happens though, because I was in a movie.
What, you left titties? Just titties?
No, I have my own. But no, I was in a movie, and it was with Kevin Hart and Bryan Cranston. And the upside, yeah. And it was the opera scene, and then he turned around and started fussing at the lady in opera. That was me, but they cut me out.
Yo, that's whack, yo. Hold on. Now, do you know that, or you go to see the movie?
No, you go to see the movie and find out you're not in it.
That's what happened to Shorty on our show.
Man, I don't know, because it's 2025, right? But supposedly from what I learned, that if your stuff do get cut, that they supposed to contact your team and stuff like that and let them know, like, well, this is not on this joint and stuff like that.
But having a watch party,
but sometimes they don't.
But see, me, it's like for me, like I came on that movie set just as an extra, and they kind of was like, "Oh, come here, we like you, let's upgrade you to this." So it wasn't like,
that's what happened.
Yeah,
to her.
I wasn't
She was
expecting.
a stripper in the movie, and then they gave her a talking scene and everything. She had her family come out, and then it was just titties. They just literally look. They said she said she did the scene multiple times, and then it was just like, "How about do one with your bra off?"
Does she have a beautiful pair?
I don't know.
Man,
No clue. No,
They nice.
No.
To be honest.
no clue.
He said no
I
clue.
never looked at it.
I have no idea, man.
That happened to me
What
before
look
too.
like, man.
I was somebody love interest in the music video. I ain't gonna put it out there because it's still my man that directed it.
Shout out.
My shoulder was in that joke.
That was it. Just shoulders.
My shoulder.
That's crazy. It happens.
It happens.
I say,
though,
man, just if you don't know you in that, John, don't wait to promote.
I just
That's
saw.
I don't say nothing.
I just saw a girl. She was doing joint. Like had a family premiere, and they swapped her role out with the
I
Hawk
seen
Tour
it.
girl.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she was freaking out. Hawk Tour!
Oh man,
Literally, just took the scenes
You
like
out.
and just and like
swapped her
her
and
out.
found
That's
another
crazy.
blonde hair.
Yeah.
So she was blonde hair. They gave it the Hawk Tour. She was like, "Yo, that's supposed to be me."
Yeah, she was snapping. We've
Yeah.
done that too though.
yeah, that happens though.
We've
done that.
replaced people
We
before.
replaced people.
I remember one time I had to reshoot a scene because I thought I lost the footage. And then in editing, I found the footage. But we had already went and reshot.
Redid it, and
With
the
another
other
dude told
person
us-
was better.
No, we shot it with the same dude, but to your point, like he had a certain wardrobe in the joint, and we had a stylist on set, and I couldn't get the same joint, so I had to at least like contact him, like where you get it from. I think it was like Lord and Taylor or something. They ain't have his size, so like some shots he got the snug joint on, some shots is a little bigger, but that type of stuff happens, man. It happens.
Yeah.
How do you do stuff as far as like obtaining locations? Like for example, in Money Lovers, they had a casino scene where so I was at the club scene, so I could understand how people get like a club scene, a local bar or something like that, and it was extensive. It was a lot going on in there. But you also
That's
had
still one of my favorite scenes.
a casino
That was a
scene.
good joint.
You know what I'm
joint.
saying? Y'all got joints inside of like an apartment building.
Mm-hmm.
How do you get those scenes? I mean, how do you obtain those locations? But more than that, who finds those locations, and do you have to pay for them? Like, how does that work?
It's mainly been me on my team, and the main reason is I have a lot of relationships, good relationships, long-standing relationships. I'm a solid nigga. I say what I'm gonna do, and I do what I'm gonna say, or I do what I said I was gonna do, and that's just been a great calling card for me that I didn't know was gonna be a calling card for me. Right? I'm literally just that way because I'm that way. Like I'm cut from an old cloth that don't really exist too much anymore, and that's not me boasting or bragging, but that is me to say if you're trying to be in this business and you're trying to be indie, you're gonna need them favors.
You
Right.
need relationships.
And one of my things was like I mentioned Work Bay too, right? We had a guy let us into his law office. That wasn't my relationship. That was my homegirl Sefangela, right? But this is an active law office.
That was a wild name, by the
Right.
way. Shout out
Sefangela, yeah.
That's a wow. Shout out Sefangela,
She
man.
put us in touch with
Sefangela's.
Steve Schatz and them, the active law office. And they was like, yeah, y'all good. Just don't touch nothing. Right? Like that was
Okay.
the instructions. Like these is active law cases. Like don't touch nothing. And in that type of world, we touch something, somebody on the other side learn that y'all was in here and y'all touched something, somebody's case might not get one. And I guarantee that case was worth more than my whole movie. You feel what I'm saying? But we left it so pristine. They was like, come back for Work Bay 2. Right? Left it so pristine. They was like, come back for Renabay. You feel what I'm saying? So like, how you treat stuff, I bark at my team all the time in a good way because I don't yell, I don't raise my voice, but I tell them, however this joint was when we get there,
Yeah.
is how it's going to be when we leave here.
I was
You gotta
always
be
jealous
safe.
of KYREE based on the way that he was able to like, you know what I mean, walk in there, quiet on set. And he just get quiet and shit.
Yeah, Debbie trying that
I'll be
shit. We
sitting
playing
there,
the video game.
Yeah,
We
I'm
look
just
at
like,
that
God
like-
damn, yo, put your titties away. You get off the goddamn game. This is crazy. Niggas is just doing anything up in this motherfucker. Hell,
Well,
well, about me.
it's a difference. I'll tell you what the difference is, Jeff. Most of the people that I'm around, they used to that. They trained to that. Like, your niggas ain't trained to that. Like, y'all trained to playing Mortal Kombat, doing the whole thing. Like, it's different. Like,
Shit.
niggas I'm around, they know what quiet on set is.
God damn.
But it's relationships. To answer your question, it's relationships, bro. Yes, we have to pay for some of them, right? Most of them I have to pay for. But just what I'm paying them ain't worth as much as if I fuck it up. Right. Now I got insurance. I've never had to use it, and I hopefully I never have to, because my team performs in a certain way. But you know, people give me discounts. They give me for free. God, just leave it how it was. You know what I mean? All of that, and we've been able to get some dope locations just off of our name, and that's growing. You know what I mean? Like now, people see me and they be like, "Yo, if you ever need to use," you know what I mean? And I'll be like, "What's your number?" Yeah, like that's how we got Christmas back.
Now, I mean, y'all stuff is so impressive. I was actually sitting with somebody, and one of their folks was inside the movie. But the thing that this is a white guy. What he asked me while he was watching, he was like, "How much you think this costs?" He was like, "How much you think this costs to make?" And I was like, my man told me, you know, something like this. He was like, "Man, I might want to invest in one of these."
Yeah, give me his number.
You know what I'm saying?
Take investments.
And then after that, I saw a couple people stand up and say, "Yo, I want to invest in this."
Oh, you talking Work Bay 2 premiere?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like a couple people stood up and said that, and I was like, "Damn, you know, when
and
you
two
doing
of them
this
stood
level,
on it.
Okay,
Two of them stood on it. 3 people stood up and said that. The one lady I just had, I never could get back in contact with her, but 2 of them stood on it.
Yeah, I mean, and that but that's a major you know, point to your work being that good that people could, you know, say, "Man, I just want to be attached to this in some way,"
right?
Or I believe in this, because like with the one film, like I said, when I saw y'all turned it into a casino, what goes into something like that? Like who? I know you worried about so much stuff. Do you find all these roulette tables and things to make this turn into this?
That's Eb. That's Ebony Dukes, man, my producer. So what folks don't know about me and Eb go way back, and she only does this because she's my best friend, right? But Eb is the type of person who she could turn water into wine, right? If you give her a little bit of time. If you give her too long, like, "Eb, you got 6 months to turn this water into wine," you probably ain't gonna have your water be wine. But if you give her 6 minutes, for some reason, Eb
she
figure
work
out
under pressure.
That's what she do. And I've learned that over time. Like, I'm gonna put Eb back against the wall and she gonna produce. So a lot of the stuff that you see like come to be what it was, like that location dressing, the whole nine, that was all her. You feel what I'm saying? So it's just being able to have a vision in your head, pass it to somebody like Dom to break it down, and then give it to somebody that like Eb to say, "Lo, these is the pieces we gonna need. This what the people need to look like, etc., etc., etc." And I give most of that credit to Eb for that, but the whole team chipped in. You know,
how do you? So y'all was talking from the standpoint of like, you got to start with a budget, right? When you're trying to convey a movie to somebody else, like an investor, or if you are an investor and you're reading a script, I don't know if I'm asking this right. How do you read a script and be able to tell how much this movie would cost? That's what I'm asking.
By locations, props, outfits, the year.
That's like, but that's
you get a ballpark, but you can't. The problem with that is who's in the movie.
Right.
Who's directing the movie? What are you shooting the movie on? Right. So
let's say you're not even counting the actors. You're just looking like, I'm looking at this. This says it takes place in here. There's a shootout in a warehouse. There's one car chase. There's this. How do you figure out this costs a certain dollar amount?
You have to be. So I can do that because and Stacy, shout out to Stacy. She smacks my hand for writing that way. Because she tells me like it puts your creativity in a box. If you're writing toward this number, you putting your creativity in a box. My comeback to her is, I want to get the movie done though. Like I don't want to write it and keep trying to pitch it to people and all that.
You gotta figure
out
how to like travel through space.
And I have those concepts, right? I have concepts that I can't afford to do on my own, and I have concepts that I could afford to do on my own. But the movie's so good. I don't want to put me in it or Dom in it respectfully. Like these need like
Dom, you can't act.
not can't act, but
we joking.
They the type of Jones that we need somebody to really fill these lead roles because this one could be out of here.
Dom disagrees.
If-
I mean,
Here's
You ain't no Viola Davis.
here's the point I make.
God damn.
And respectfully, right? I know I can act, but I know I'm not gonna pull the audience motherfucker Idris gonna pull. You know what I'm saying? So like Money Lovers. If Money Lovers, Tiffany was Taraji Henson and I was Idris Elba, and we filled the roles around us with other people in that vicinity, that movie's out of here.
but I will say, the way she played that role.
Yes.
Listen, yo.
But the name
I
ain't a
understand
name,
that.
is what I'm
I understand
saying.
that. I understand that.
You right. I tell her this all the time.
Legendary.
She bodied that shit.
No, for real,
Killed
for real.
that
Shout out
That's
to
how-
Tiffany
that's how
McLeod.
That's how I felt. Like everybody did a great job. Don't get me wrong, but that's also how I felt when I saw Tata Sharice. I had to call her.
Shout
Like,
out
yo,
Tata.
Tata, yo, Jesus Christ.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
You would have
Killed
thought
that
that
joint.
this was the new movie with Queen Latifah and like the biggest stars. You know what I'm saying?
She bodies Renabay.
Body.
I'm penning another joint with her as a star now.
Now, how do y'all feel about because recently, I was able to unveil to the world that I was the greatest UFC champion in the history of
I
the
saw
world.
that.
25-time champ, all this stuff.
Shout out to Sora.
He picture for
Shout out
Fight
to
Bay.
Sora.
Fight Bay.
Mike Crazy. He beat one girl up. Nigga's undefeated.
Yeah. Fight Bay is a different.
Fight
Depending on how you say it.
That's crazy. So now, with that entering there, because of what I've seen in my business, I do anything as a creative director. So I do everything from a person's set design, all the logo. It doesn't matter what it is. I could draw up somebody's storyboards. It doesn't matter. But I have seen a decrease in certain portions of my business based on AI. People saying, well, I do need a logo, but if I could save that 500 for right now, tell ChatGPT to put this together. Now that they do have stuff like Sora, what was it, a Mid Journey? Does that change some of the stuff, especially since there's things that we can film now? Like I've seen guys, they'll film a music video, and before you had to have some kind of pyro there, or you added in the effects in After Effects. I'm watching guys walk down the street rapping, put it into a Mid Journey, or not Sora. Sora's like, I didn't know much about Sora, but some of the other bigger brands.
Yeah.
And these things cost maybe around like $300 a month. And they're saying, make the buildings on fire. And it keeps all the footage the same, but not only is it making the building on fire, the light that is on his face is as if the reflection is on him. If you said make the puddles on the ground, his reflection is in it. What does that do for the movie business? How does it hurt? How does it help?
I feel like it can hurt and help, but I feel like the helping part, for example, like for independent filmmaker, there's certain things I didn't have access to. AI now gives me access. So now I can start producing and making things on a higher level of that because now I have that access. I understand on the other side of it, it's like people were paid to do these jobs. And it's like, so now technology is taking the jobs from them. And I can understand that to a certain point. But at the same time, on the independent side, I couldn't get that person to do that job. I didn't have the budget to do it. But I still needed it done. AI now allows me to get it done. I wasn't hiring him anyway because I didn't have the money to do it anyway. So it didn't take your job. You didn't get it. Like,
so where that person, so that's what I'm trying to figure out is there's so many people that are employed by, like a major company. For example, me making that video is on a free app, right? It takes seconds to generate all of this stuff. And I'm like, damn. So you're telling me if I make a movie about a guy who's a retired fighter, and I'm a person that trains martial arts, so I have access to produce a UFC podcast. I'm around these people. Now, the fact that I can make a movie and they can be playing my old tapes, like now, if I'm the Rocky, washed up old man, it really has me in the middle of the octagon. I really got Joe Rogan's voice calling out my name and stuff like that. That part makes it feel like it's dope, but when I start thinking about how many people lose their jobs,
I think we gotta stop thinking about who loses their job, right? And I'm gonna say that because I don't want to sound insensitive when I say it, but humans going human, right? Since the dawn of time, humans going to get into another, like one of the things I hear all the time. Well, you can't cure cancer because the money is in the drug. Do you know how much somebody would pay if they had cancer for the cure? You know what I'm saying? Like people forget about that part. Like you forget that, yeah, there's money in the treatment, but there's 20 times more money in the cure, right? That's how I know the real true cure just don't exist. Because anybody that had the real true cure, and I'm not saying it don't, I don't know that it don't, but I'm saying I know somebody that got cancer can't just go out and cop it. But hear me out, right? They probably pay, and I got a different point, so I'm gonna jump off of this. They probably pay, let's make it high, $1,000 a month for their health insurance that they go on and they getting whatever treatments for. But I guarantee you, if the cure was available and it was 500 racks, they're going to mortgage their home, right? To live tomorrow, right? But here's another point I'll give you. There was a time when if we wanted to eat, we had to go outside and hunt for our food. Now we could just go get it off the shelf, right? That's all AI is, right? It's there was a time where you had to film everything, record every voice, get every location, whatever it might be. And now we're moving into a time where it's on the shelf. Well, where we want that to look like we at, Dom? A warehouse. What color is it in the warehouse? It's blue.
So that's what I was gonna say when you talked about the painting of the walls and stuff like that.
Right. So my thing is, I don't think we have to stop looking at it like, oh, people gonna lose their jobs. And I'm saying this as a human race. It's not about people losing their jobs. It's about you now have to spill over into the new thing that's available. Because when I say humans is going human, things gonna move. Right? We not gonna throw a spear at a cow for the dawn of time. Somebody gonna build a farm and they gonna herd the cattle in here, and you just could go to McDonald's and get a hamburger now. That's all AI is. It's the evolution of the digital age.
But hold on real quick, just on that. But right when they did that, it was a transfer of gigs, meaning no. So, but the thing, it was a transfer of gigs, meaning, yeah, you don't go out and hunt the joint, but now somebody got to work at the grocery store.
Yes.
In this case, is a little bit different. Like I'm about to go to something called Genius Network. I go every year. It's like a millionaire and billionaire conference in Arizona, and the people there, like, there's an AI expert that speaks on his TED Talks, and his job is almost to, you have, like, the bragging right is, I was able to bring Yusef from 200 employees to 7, and they're all in there cheering, meaning he just fired 193 people because now he has a computer that can do those people's jobs.
We saying the same thing, right?
Okay.
Because you got a family of 5 to feed, right? You got to go outside and throw that spear just to feed your family, right? That's your job. But now a supermarket exists. You could send your wife, right? So all those people are saying is, if I turn him from having 700 employees to only needing to have 7, that means there should be 683 people, 93 people that can now become what he was that used to work for him. And that's the turn of the coin that people's minds got to start to think about. You don't have to get an iPhone. You could create one now. You feel what I'm saying? That's the difference. That I think like that. Most people think like what's being taken. I'm thinking about, well, what's being created? What can I do now that I couldn't do before that's making it easier for me? That's where my mind
But even with AI now, and understanding the technology, understanding the use of technology, now you got a whole sphere of engineers that are now created because they're just working on AI stuff because you need them because AI is growing. So you need them to do it. So now you got a whole bunch of jobs opened up just for people to engineer all the stuff for AI.
So it's basically, it turns into But wouldn't that only
You
be
might have shut
the
one
geniuses?
door, but you probably opened up 2 more over here. You got to think about it like that.
I think with
Go ahead.
you guys. Now I was gonna say I think besides the only point like my thing that's against AI when it comes to the industry is like of course it's great that it helps the independent filmmakers be able to do certain things that they wasn't able to do because you gotta think about it. CGI always was around, you feel me? Like when we seeing like outer space stuff and all that other stuff, that's not real. You know what I'm saying? That's AI type stuff, right? You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, it's like I think the biggest thing that we forgetting what AI is also going to do is it's going to take away our own self-identity and creativity. Like, for instance, you know how to draw, right? Like, you draw, you know what I mean, freehand, right? So when you create that drawing, you get a satisfaction of what you created. You know, the endorphins is released. You get what I'm saying? But let's just say, for instance, like, your mind could just be like the same picture that you could have drawn. You would just like, all right, think it and then it create
Instant gratification.
You know what I'm saying?
That's what I guess he's just talking about
But
the instant gratification.
I don't know that instant gratification would come from that only because there's novelty to certain things, right? And I think that like if you know someone used AI to create something, like if Dev drew this with his bare hand, I'm way more fascinated than if he punched in a prompt and created this. And if he can prove that, I guarantee you this in the future. If you can prove that you can do something like that without the machines, you're still going to be valuable.
Do you, think people look at that from a? I think that most people, the end user, cares about what they get in the end. So it's like they don't even think about, like when they watch Transformers, they don't give a fuck about the credits, the people that animated and made these robots look real. They didn't care about them anyway.
It's the reason an antique is worth something, right? There's a certain novelty to having something that nobody else has. Right. So I'm not going to sit here and tell you that you can't, because you could hit a prompt, generate 20,000 of those and sell them all at $10 versus one for 20,000. Right. I'm not going to tell you that because that's the case. But what I am saying is I believe that in the future, and we right in the throes of it. Right. Yeah. We where ChatGPT is exciting Yahoo of 25 years ago, right? It's going to grow to the point where we can authentically, like, I watched your fight, John, on Sora. I can clearly tell it's AI, besides the fact that I know you, right?
You could definitely.
But it's going to get to a point where it's really like, what is this real or no? You feel what I'm saying?
I think it's still like sells us short though, you feel me? Like, because at the end of the day, it's like, yo, if we had to set a car on fire and have it go up a ramp and it's a shooting scene, like if we was to do that on our own, you know, it's gonna be like, damn, we really did that. It's supposed to, just like how rapping is, you get what I'm saying? You know, it's still, some people don't care that they say Drake don't write his stuff, you get what I'm saying? But majority of hip hop people like, bro, you can't say you the best. So it's like, me personally, it's like, if I find out Jay didn't write his stuff, I'm not listening to hip hop no more.
But
I stand on
making my point though.
Nah, I'm making a point. No, I'm making a point that it's like, if people is going to abuse AI to the point where it's not even their creativity no more. It's just the fact that they just type in something and it's gonna come, opposed to them. They thought of this and they made it happen.
Hold on.
The value is in they thought of it.
Real quick, this is the crazy part. When you prompt something, right, it creates something. But you put that same prompt in 100 times, it gives you so many versions, so you get to pick which one. With some people, the thing too, if I'll make one of those clips right now, this is off of a free bullshit app. People can't tell the parts that is me sometimes from the other parts. Like I have to show people, like, no, that's really me right here on this parts. I'll just mix them together. You know what I'm saying? When it gets that dangerous to be able to be like, yo, I can mix and match. It is a little bit crazy. I want to see how this shakes out because it's growing so much.
I think the issue is going to be that it's not going to hold the same value, because I think we're going to look at more things as being unauthentic.
Yeah.
That's what he's saying.
Yeah, I'm saying, I'm agreeing. When you see it, it's just going to be like, oh, that's AI, even when it's not.
Yeah.
And also,
like I took a picture.
It's not going to hold no weight.
I took a picture near the mountains and I showed my boy. He like, oh, John, you did that in AI? I'm like, nah, bro, that's a real picture.
There. But see, you standing on that though. You like, no, nigga, this is a real picture. I think in the future, those real situations are going to hold more value. You know what I'm saying? And I think that when I say more value, I mean volume is going to happen because of AI, right? We're going to get to the point where you could prompt a whole fucking movie, right? And the crazy part, before I go to that point, I thought of this before. Y'all going to say I'm crazy, but I'm going to put this thought out there. But I believe that in the future, 10, 20, 15 years from now, whatever it take, people are going to have a thirst and a taste for this was authentically done, because there's so many replicas out there. Give me something that was authentically done. I used to literally say this years and years ago, right? A DVD is a piece of plastic, right? With ones and zeros on a motherfucker, right? And then a DVD player is this instrument that's made to read these ones and zeros and project, let's say, the movie Friday, Craig's voice, Day-Day's voice, his image, whatever it might be, in this sequential order, right? But if I watch Friday, right, Craig gonna beat up Debo at the end every time. You got the DVD, millions of copies across the world. We put it into these different DVD players. It spits out the same image all the time because it's a finite piece of plastic, right? And I used to always say, one day we're going to get to the point where we can create that piece of plastic without shooting the movie, right? And people never could fathom that. Like, no, you got to do the, I'm like, no, you don't. Because this is a piece of plastic with a code on it that ends, albeit a quadrillion ones and zeros. It ends. You know how I know it ends? Because I have this piece of plastic, Dom has this piece of plastic, and it all does the same thing. So there has to be a way, right? We don't know it yet, right? The way we do it now is we go shoot the movie, we put one thing through another thing, it creates this. Put another thing through another thing, it creates that. And then we merge all of that together to give you this code on this disc that you put in your player, and it speaks code through your VCR or your DVD player to your TV, and you get these images. And these are just colors and sound. If that disc is finite, you have to be able to get to the place of that disc without it. And AI now, I believe, I don't think it's there yet, but I believe it can count to those numbers one day soon. Because you're going to be able to reverse engineer what those ones and zeros are using AI, because you don't have to do it with the human brain and create something else. You put that in, you say, how did I get this? And once AI can tell you, oh, well, this sequence was created because of XYZ, and it's not talking camera stuff. It's not going to tell you, well, it was shot on a red this, and this voice is these, whatever. It was recorded with this. It's not going to say that. It's going to say, a sequence of these amount of zeros would change Craig's shirt from blue to red. Would you like me to do that? And now you're going to put in that finite disc and his shirt going to be red.
Yeah, they're definitely going to be able to change that. What I think people are going to be able to do is they're going to be able to swap out the actors with themselves. Like if you want to watch the Rocky story, but you want to watch it with you, if you're watching the John and you're Roland West and the girl is dark skinned and you want her to be light skinned so that you could feel something for her because he's a colorist, then this person can say, yo, I want it to be Alicia Keys, and you get the Alicia Keys upgrade, and then it just swaps that person out, kind of like
but
when you dream.
To my point, if you're already Alicia Keys, that's going to cost some money. So that's where I say, instead of us being scared of what's going to be replaced, get a new job. You know what I'm saying? Do something in the AI world so that you are a part of the turn.
He said dumb
not
people
being
you
left
fucked.
back.
You did.
not even dumb, but like it just lack of hustle.
Man, 5 years
You gotta
from now,
follow. You gotta
AI
follow
gonna
the
be gone.
trends.
But also, it's
I
it's
said
a
I
trend.
think AI gonna be a fad.
It's
I might
a
be
little
wrong.
faddish. I feel it's a little faddish to a certain extent, but also at the same time, I feel like it's not going to replace everything. Everybody's scared that it's going to replace everything. It's not.
Yeah, it's not.
Just like right now, we got digital cameras, but a lot of movies are still made on film.
Look, this is how it's
They're still
gonna
made on
be.
film.
Right.
And why is that? Because of the way film is captured. a digital, like you can try
People
to
like the
replicate it,
look.
but
You
they like
can't-
the
you
look.
can't
But
replicate it.
it's still, at the end of the day, it's still people. Like
It
people
ain't
are still in control, so it's not.
And
it's
Sinners made my point, right? Because that was one of the reasons he did it that way. He like, I want to do it in this large format, show it in the large format theaters, and people went out in droves
Yeah.
because they wanted to see that feel. If he was on the John like, yeah, it's AI this, it's AI that, I don't think it would have been the same take.
I look at it like this, like, like I said, I mean, I agree with you and disagree on certain things of it, but the reason why I feel as though it's not going to last long, because it's going to get to a point where it's going to spill into markets where they're going to be like, oh, hell nah. Because right now it's only affecting tech and affecting film, entertainment, stuff like that.
I got what you're saying.
But once it get to like where basketball and football is AI now, ain't nobody going, you know what I mean? Well, the consumer might want to watch that, but what about them football players now? What about the basketball
I got a
players?
rebuttal to
And
that
that's
too,
what
though.
my
What about the
was.
presidency?
I got a
You know what I
rebuttal
mean?
to
What
that
about
too.
Go ahead.
When we was coming up, niggas was in the middle of the street playing football. Niggas was on these basketball courts. These days, niggas is twitching.
Yeah.
Right? Niggas is in they phones. They learning how to do the AI shit. I've said this publicly before. I personally believe the NBA and the NFL is doing themselves a disservice because they have not taken the initiative to come into these neighborhoods, build state-of-the-art facilities with free baseball, football, basketball camps, right? With the stars coming to those camps and all of those types of things, because you don't have a farm system. The NBA and the NFL don't have a farm system. Like, and you can think that the NIL deals and all of this, no, you gonna have niggas that's 6'8" trying to be Kai Cenat.
You right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
like real talk.
That's completely real. No, 100%. I believe that. But Kai said all this to say, Hoopers Part 2, AI gonna have me dunking on niggas. You know what I'm saying? Because it's AI, you feel me? By then, AI will be right. I'll be dunking on niggas. I get to see myself in my basketball glory.
So when you land, your beard going to change.
Yeah,
man.
Right.
So
His beard gonna
listen,
change.
Listen, Turkey, let me tell you something,
Oh
man.
Lord, here we go with this turkey shit.
But
I'm going to Turkey in 3 years.
Yeah.
No, 4 years.
You really
Coming back.
You really trying to get this hair back?
KYREE Terrell waved up. I'm trying to tell you, dog. It's over once I come back. My 360s, nigga. 360s.
Bro.
50
you got
year
all
old.
little
Listen.
dots on your head.
Yeah, I'm about to
and
say
shit.
your hair
listen.
gonna look like AI, bro.
Bro, listen what I'm telling
I
you.
don't want the
I
AI.
watched
hair.
all these bulls at the MMA gym. They wiggies is fully back. It's just wonderful. I said, yo, this looks splendid, nigga.
It
But
do
they
it
had to
look
go
authentic?
through authentic than a motherfucker.
It look authentic.
You watched it grow like chia pet, nigga. You seen it from the dots all the way to when the joint sprouted out.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, you did that. But the healing process, crazy. Niggas going through it like 7 months.
oh man,
What is it? It's like painful?
They said it's super painful.
Yeah, you might as well stay
Count me
bald,
out.
bro.
Yeah, man.
You might as well stay
the
bald.
You
waves-
really need a
see, that-
360?
See, this the thing. A nigga with the 360.
It's always a nigga with wigs and telling you what to do.
so when he get the waves, Baldy's gonna
Baldy's gonna be back in style.
Nah, fuck that. I'm getting dreads, all that.
Yo, you know what's crazy too? I want to say like in terms of like the live stream, I don't want to really get off topic, but what I want to see like a filmmaker, because I'm getting into film too, but that's, acting is my main thing, right? But like, I think it's going to be a movie that's going, like, people going to create a movie in live. I mean, like, we're going to watch the movie in real time type of thing. I don't know how that's going to be created.
Live
but like
with
scene by
special
scene,
effects is
you know what I'm
crazy.
saying?
Like, it's like watching, like he just did, he did basically Broadway style plays.
Mm-hmm.
Being able to view a play, and when you do the magic spell, they actually have the graphics on there. It's
Yeah, that'd
fucking
be crazy, man.
Yeah, that's crazy as
Yeah.
shit.
That's, I mean, the thorough thing about all of the technology and how it's growing is the creative access, right? Like me and my wife was just talking about how niggas in jail be like the most creative niggas you ever met, but they talent never going to see the light of day,
Yeah,
right?
niggas turn buttholes to
But-
Gucci's. That's crazy.
Anyway,
you can do that.
I was more so talking about, you know, turning they
AI.
the yard clothes, the dope designer jackets and stuff. But
we see where he was going.
see where he's going with it.
That's crazy.
But nonetheless, creative access, right? I remember a time where I thought I couldn't become a filmmaker because I'm like cameras wasn't a stack. You know what I'm saying? Like cameras was you got 25,000. We can get you this little camera, and you know, lighting and sound and the whole nine of it. And then also the creativity of it used to be, you better have a damn good film that could get some stamps at a film festival before anybody is going to want to give you a chance anyway. So not only is it expensive, it's a gamble, and I don't know nobody, right? But fast forward came, you know, cameras being accessible. 7D was my first camera. I think I spent $2,700 on it when it first came out. Got me a lens for like $1,800. I still got that lens to this day. You know what I'm saying? But that put me in the game. And you talking $5,000 and I was in the game. You know what I'm saying?
And people was mad then. People was mad at me. They was calling me a GWC when I first came in, guy with camera. That's what they used to call it. Like when you got into the photo game, man, they was pissed off.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
And I say all of that to say, I think that there's going to be a creative like revolution that's spawned by AI, where like, I think two things are going to happen. Oversaturation is going to happen. Right. And people are going to be like,
it's cool. Oversaturated on social media right now. It's annoying.
But the thing about it now, though, is you could tell it's AI.
I know, but I'm just saying.
I'm talking about when it gets to the point you can't tell. Right. Yeah. There's just going to be an oversaturation. Like it's going to be 5 million New Jack cities. You know what I'm saying? Like niggas going to keep doing the same stuff and people going to be like, all right. But there's also going to be well, what if you did New Jack City, but it's Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, and there's a work bay element to it, but everybody's ants. That's my point.
A Bug's Life Bay.
Somebody
Pest Bay.
Somebody gonna push it to a point where you just like, yo, this is crazy, right? It's Game of Thrones, right? Right now today where they had to go shoot that shit, right? But when you watch Game of Thrones, there's so many layers that you just like, wow, this is that, but it's this, but it's that, but it got this element too. And they talk like this. Somebody gonna tweak the AI when it gets to the point where we can't tell.
To the max. Right?
Somebody gonna put them tweaks on it and you be like, yo, this shit is crazy. Like, did you see the new something?
Yeah.
That's the part that I'm actually interested in seeing. You know what I mean? And being a pioneer of.
Oh, he want to be a pioneer. Listen, man. I appreciate everybody for having this discussion. I don't know if any of y'all niggas at home are afraid to try to make a movie now or inspired, but I will tell you, if you have not watched BMF, I don't know where the fuck you at.
Right.
If you have not watched Forever, it is fucking phenomenal. But if you're a nigga, it's going to trigger you. It's going to piss you the fuck off for real, because we keep going through this with these women as young men. They can't make up their motherfucking mind. It really captured the essence of what niggas really go through, man.
Man, for real.
Like for real.
Especially at that age.
Yeah, it's like, God damn, that boy ain't do nothing wrong, man.
But I wouldn't have stopped there at the movie theaters, though. Shout out to my boy, my boy Michael Coop, man.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But if you haven't watched the Bay series,
the Baytrix,
this Baytrix, man, from Michael Bay himself, KYREE, TERRELL, you know what I'm saying? You want to go to Tubi and watch these movies, man, and
Christmas Bay especially. That's the one we need y'all help on this holiday season, man. Christmas Bay. We need y'all to stream that. But Work Bay is there. Work Bay 2, Rent Bay. Those movies happen in that succession. So if you want to watch the whole story and learn the characters and move through the Baytrix with them, you can do it that way. But wherever you pick up, you can just jump in. Like that's how we write them. You don't have to know what happened in Work Bay to enjoy Christmas Bay.
And if you's a freak ass nigga and you want to be in a one of these poly relationships,
oh yeah,
and you want to look at what could happen, is another movie that you could watch too. It's called
Our Girlfriend.
Our Girlfriend.
Yeah.
It talks about some of the things that can happen. I be warning y'all niggas. Think that you just gonna have double coochie.
Listen, man. Listen, I've never been in a bad Our Girlfriend situation, and I've had my share. But for the movie goer, we was like, you know what?
My boy writing his truth.
I am. My movies come from
I
a
gotta
place
go
of,
rewatch all of them.
you know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna go
But-
back to this. I'm gonna put the scripts back up. Like, wait a damn minute.
Yeah. We had to give it a spicy ending. You know what I'm saying? But happy endings happen too.
Listen, man, make sure that y'all go watch that. John is pretty fucking insane. Also, Dominique has a lot of films that are up on these platforms as well. Can you shout some of these films
Yes, a couple movies just dropped outside of Christmas Bang Runaway. Gina on Amazon Prime. Go watch that. That John director Derek Hammond, phenomenal. What else? I got a lot.
Brooklyn.
Brooklyn. He know my
I be seeing you be having all types of shit. You got
I got
fucking
a lot.
I see you got Vampire Jones. You got sci-fi Jones. What the fuck you
Forsaken
got?
All Others.
Forsaken All Others.
worked
It's
in.
Criers.
Is that
I'm
Forsaken All Others? Is that you cheating?
Yeah. A lot.
A lot.
Grimy as shit. Grimy as hell, yo. Oh man. And hold on, don't y'all what movie y'all got? Y'all got
Oh yeah,
some
we got Petty.
we got
coming,
Petty.
Man. Petty.
It's coming out.
they got
soon.
some freak ass shit going on.
It ain't freaky, it's
freaky
petty.
a little bit, but
It's
petty.
petty.
It's more petty than freaky.
It's called Petty. 'cause
It's
very
basically
petty.
the breakup. Remember Jennifer Aniston, Vince Vaughn? It's the
Oh,
breakup,
yeah.
but the black people way.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Yeah.
It's
All right.
hilarious.
And
though.
what's the
It's
people
funny
gonna
as
look
hell.
forward to in this? What they gonna see?
It's
And Petty?
funniness.
Yeah.
Well, this is me and Dom. We a couple in this joint,
Ah.
but we break up and things get a little petty.
And
you know what I'm
things get
saying?
very, very petty.
You know what I mean? But it got some scenes. It got some scenes.
What kind of scenes?
It got
The
those
scenes
scenes.
we say he write all the time. So you want me to start crying?
First of all,
We tell
Just gonna see
listen,
titties,
this is a
titties.
rumor.
Yo, when you not here, Kyrie,
This,
we
we talk about Kyrie on the show all the
talk
time,
about
right?
it.
GB,
what y'all be
GB
saying?
gonna get mad.
So listen,
What y'all be saying?
we be saying that once you're a director of a movie, a creator, you get to forge things and you could decide what happens. So
So they said you always decide.
that you always decide to have them Johns and have scenes with the Johns that everybody likes.
So here's the thing. Here's the thing. Number one.
We
My-
also say he finds excuses to write scenes to take his shirt off for no goddamn reason. That's picking up a charger at
may be
somebody's
true.
house. Had nothing to do with
I mean,
that.
I was home working out. I was home.
But you couldn't have been home fully dressed.
So black women deserve to see black men objectified as well.
I
You know what I'm
got
saying?
you, I got
Black
you.
women deserve that. So I'm the type of person, I'm fair in all aspects of life.
Okay.
So if I'm going to objectify women, goddamn it, Kyrie, you got to be willing to get objectified too, right?
Okay.
So that's why
Gotta be willing to.
you got to be willing to. As far as my sex scenes that I write in all of the movies, whether I'm in them or not, my sex scenes be nice. They be beautiful to watch and to look at. So I don't write sex scenes
They're not raunchy.
just for the of
Yeah,
it,
no,
right?
no.
Petty is probably the first one that it look a little.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Starring who?
Oh man,
Dominique Janelle.
Dominique Janelle.
Hey, yo.
You know what I'm
starring
saying?
Dominique.
That's probably the first time it look a little.
So
You know what I
wait,
mean?
but in all fairness, it's only that way because it's a comedy.
It's a comedy.
It's a comedy.
It's meant to be funny.
It's meant to be like over the top and
But
funny.
but furthermore, I've heard this rumor about here's the thing. If you were a leading lady in any of my movies that you've seen, I never got the yams. That's the right-handed guy. If you was my leading lady, I never got the yams. And I don't intend to get the yams, right? But movies got sex. Like, let's not act like movies don't
Did
got
they have
sex.
sex in Terminator?
Yes.
They did?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
That's
Transformers also.
That's how they made John Connor.
Okay,
Yeah.
and Transformers also.
It's just
Okay.
it's a part of cinema. But I do try to do my best in doing it artistically. Like even our girlfriend scenes is done like
Classy.
artistically. They not I wouldn't say classy. but they're
No, listen, yo. Hey, yo, right
That's
now,
the wrong
right now.
adjective. That's the wrong
Wait,
I want y'all-
wait. The funniest thing about our
artistically, though.
girlfriend though, because when I watched it, and I was like, I don't remember. Did you film some sex scenes when I wasn't on set?
It had to be.
I was like, I don't remember.
I'm gonna tell y'all right now.
It's only
These
three
Jones
scenes
is
in Our Girlfriend.
There's more than 3.
These Jones is
three
like
sex
hub.
scenes in Our
These
Girlfriend.
Jones like the
There's more
hub.
than
This
No,
Jones-
it's not.
Yes, there is.
In Our Girlfriend,
It's like the
don't even know how
hub.
many sex scenes.
It's a hub. It's the hub, yo. If you ain't got the
It's
hub,
not.
and you're
It's not.
Yeah.
It ain't no Jonskis. All the movies, there's only one titty in all the movies. You talking about it's the hub?
She only got one titty.
It's artistic.
With the other titty.
No, you only see the one in all the movies, and maybe a little butt in another one. You see my butt in Money Levels.
that's crazy.
He said that's good.
That's crazy. You about to make our niggas not go watch my? Yo,
That's
go-
cool. The ladies could go watch it.
Listen, man. Everybody go check out these movies. I appreciate y'all for coming on, sharing this knowledge. You know what I'm saying?
Appreciate you
One
for
day,
bringing us.
one day. Oh yeah, look, hold on.
And then when you
This
you
episode
gotta
is
get the
brought
Pop
to you
John.
Don't forget
Pop
to
John.
get your John Pop.
Get the Pop John at popjohn.com so you can watch your movies.
And get your John Pop.
Salty,
Yeah.
sweet,
What's
kettle corn.
What's the
Pop it open?
catchphrase?
I want you to taste it live. Go ahead.
You watch
what's
the
the-
movie.
What's the?
You grab your Pop John,
Open it.
and then you
got-
pop your
got-
John.
You gotta rip it open.
Oh, this sophisticated.
You feel me?
This like opening up condoms. Niggas don't do that.
I'm
Nobody.
surprised you knew how to open it, man.
He's struggling. He's struggling.
Nobody does that. Let's see.
Taste-
I'm gonna tell
taste
you.
that joint.
I'm gonna tell you
So-
these joints nasty. I'm gonna tell you.
Sweet and salty. That's my man. Pass
Uh-oh,
that bag over
uh-oh.
here. No, I don't want to
He
open
took-
no
Hold
bag.
on, open those.
He two
That's what I
hands
said.
in.
Pass me that up.
He 2 more scoops in.
I ain't lying. I ain't going front.
Let me have some Pop John, man. I ain't even never have it, and this my dime. Like, you know what I'm saying?
What
This is
you
my
think?
first time
Give me a
popping a
review.
John.
Give me a review. Honest
I
review.
swear to God on my mom's life.
Damn.
That's how real. I'm gonna keep it with y'all. Jones is banging. I'm
Trying
not
to tell
lying.
y'all.
I'm not lying.
Just trying to tell you.
I'm definitely
Let me
taking
blame.
I'm taking the bag to the crib.
I'll bring you more bags.
Listen, I'm taking the bag to the last product she brought had the same type of color bottle, made Nick gay.
Yeah, man.
Start talking about wild stuff. He made Nick gay, so we don't know if we're allowed to have that on the show.
We took them bottles and put them on the side.
We had to move those bottles.
Cool or whatever. Ain't like once you pop, you can stop. You know what I'm saying?
Can't stop popping them
You
Johns.
gonna eat
Now,
your
now,
whole
you know,
bag.
now you know you got to stay fit for your sex scenes and things.
Yeah,
Right.
pass that bag back here.
Right.
That's it for
Yo,
me.
you
But
gotta
it's
relax.
healthy though.
Oh, it's healthy. Oh, it's
Yeah.
healthy. It's
Here,
healthy.
let me try
This
that.
slice off, hanging on.
Yo, Dom, you know what,
I'm
Dom?
taking these with me too, Dom.
You stay with a product or something like that, man. The grind is unbelievable.
She be
What
coming
makes you-
outside, matching her product. Look,
Yeah, like why you always got all these products, man?
Because you gotta you gotta have multiple streams of income.
Gotta diversify your portfolio,
Yeah,
man.
I got a diversified portfolio. You got to.
Do you got product placement inside of your movies with these jumps?
she be sneaking it in there. You know what I'm saying?
I like
You
that.
see my wine in a lot of movies. You about to see the popcorn in a lot of stuff too. Basically, I had clothing in movies. Yeah.
She be
Listen,
sneaking
man.
it in there.
Yo,
You gotta
take
hustle.
this grind that y'all see. Everybody on this camera right now has a different type of grind. I noticed that over the years, I see the same people and they're always evolving and doing something different. KYREE was in here singing R&B, turned into an R&B stripper / I don't know what the fuck was going on. No, I'm dead ass.
No, they was wrong for kicking
They
him out
was
of
going,
drill.
listen,
We was
they
doing
was
our
on
thing.
stage singing and then the women just didn't,
We was
they
doing our
wanted
thing.
microphones in their mouth. I
Yeah.
don't know what was going on. They
Ain't
was
lying.
wilding. They was
Shout
wilding.
out to my runway homies.
Runway was the name of the
Runway.
group. They
We
turned
was
into
it.
porn stars, basically.
Nah.
Something
We ain't
like
doing all
that. It was terrible. It got terrible. It was like they're just there with instrumentals playing in an orgy. I don't know.
Why you telling these people this?
This is what Chris Brown doing it now. These niggas was doing it back then. I'm telling y'all right
Listen,
now.
man,
but
we-
he evolved and
We
now
just sang
he
and
does
took our
it.
shirts off. That's all.
Yeah, all right. You know what I'm saying?
Magic
You-
mics.
Yeah, that's
Before
exactly what
Magic
they was.
Mike.
You see Dom constantly different products, and every time the product is quality. So anything that y'all want to do out there, man, y'all can do it. My man right here is from the same city as me, from Camden, New Jersey. He was doing his production thing, went down to Atlanta, you know what I'm saying? And broke into the movie business. Now this dude's popping up on major platforms, you know what I'm saying? Slice Maximus constantly grinding. You see this man writing programs, $3 million on, you know, on the news with, you know what I'm saying, the mayor and all of that. We talking about the president of Pop Warner Football. We out here working, man. And y'all could do it too, man. Thank y'all for watching. We out of here, man.
Talk
Peace.
heavy, man.
That's it. Appreciate y'all. Oh, this popcorn really good shit.
You like it?